great 5x5, something. What do we got here? Rose first. Yes, you are first today. Running a little ragged. I'm burning the candle at both ends, Rose. Don't know what to do. I've got some coffee. Wait for this room to fill up just a little bit. I don't know what, maybe I didn't set this right. I'm gonna have to pull over and do something real quick. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Let's pull over and do something real quick. All right, let's see what we got here. I'm going to promote this video real. Where's it at? Forward? Why is it so weird looking? All right, looks like we have reconnected. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It is a glorious Monday morning here for all the after party rewatch guys on the road again. Yep. Every Monday, and it's going to be like every other Monday and every other Friday. Presents. You were such a good student in the 5th grade, weren't you, Andy? Good morning. Good morning, LP and Prepper fam. Laszlo, good to see you. Bob Pita, good morning. I guess people are finally getting the link. I don't know what was going on there, but let's go ahead and set that cruise control. Come on now, there we go. Speed, boom, set. What do we got here? Patrick's in here. Good morning, good morning. Oh goodness. All right, so we're just gonna wait. The room, we've got to give one. Well, the YouTubes are obviously working this morning, otherwise you would not be able to like say good morning to me. But you know, we're gonna give the room a few seconds to get a little bit more stuff here. West Virginia Pappy. So, oh man, I think I slept well, but I think it's just one of those. It's a morning. No, don't even say it. I do not have the case of the Mondays. All right, so this may be as good. Let's see. What do we want to talk about today? Since I don't have my script in front of me right now. Whatever you guys want to talk about in the chat, but I'll start. I will start. If this is like group therapy. This is like prepper therapy. I'll start. Has anybody else noticed the massive juggernaut onslaught attack of the left on all of the people that Captain Red Tie has picked to be in his to run his administration? Has anybody noticed the all-out, unbelievable attack that is happening? I think it's Light Raider. Good to see you, bro. I think that if you missed it, then you were disconnected. That is for sure, because these people are like pulling out all the stops. There's like, I think the one that really sparked it off was what was it? Hegseth, Pete Hegseth. Apparently, he paid some woman to be quiet, even though the sex was consensual. You know, and it's like they're just doing anything they can to try and destroy any of the appointees, anything and every. It's all up for grabs. You know, this is going back to that video where I told you guys to. You better not take your foot off the gas, because these people, they play to win. That's all they care about: winning and maintaining power. That's absolutely all they care about. And that means they don't care about you. They don't care about your kids. They don't care about your grandchildren. They don't care about the Constitution. They don't care about the law. Did you hear about that? What was? I can't remember what state it was where the same old tricks. They're not tricks, bro. They're not tricks. And good morning, Ian. This is just dirty pool. They're doing everything in their power. You know, they're literally like, okay, guys, we lost. Let's call the bookies in and let's find out every dirty little secret. What have we got on this guy? Oh, nothing. Go find something. What do we got on this guy? Wow, that's great. Let's get that out this weekend. Total, complete onslaught all weekend long. Every time I turned the TV on, it was some kind of pick or poke at the at one of the appointees. It's crazy. So guess what we all need to do is no sex as the crazy last week. Nope, sorry, bro. That's not happening. Robert, what's going on, Robert? You know, it's beyond politics. I think I'm reminded that it's very similar to, well, it's actually the same thing. Basically, whatever they accuse you of, they are already doing. Whatever the attack is, that's really them. And I hope that the American citizenry, by their vote, it's like there's still that breath of fresh air, you know what I'm saying, that we got from Captain Red Tie being elected. But I hope that people haven't like taken their foot off the gas. I hope that they haven't realized that this is just going to continue. This is the beginning, you know. So you remember when he came down the escalator and the next day it was nothing but attacks, and it didn't end until after he was out of office, and then it was a blame game for the next 4 years after that. That's the way these people think. And then people were like, well, you know, I think that is the one thing that'll point us towards some kind of revolution or civil war, if you will. It's just people getting tired of this bull. Tired of these games. And sooner or later, the blame game's not going to work. And they're going to be like, all right, these people picked this fight. Now it's time to find out if they really got the gumption to go the distance. And I think they're going to find out very quickly that they don't, because that's normally what they do. They recover, regroup, and then reattack. It's very simple military strategy. But what they've effectively done, if you've been paying attention to the news cycle over the last weekend, what they've effectively done is they've taken away that great feeling that we had. They're trying to steal that win from us, that feeling of victory from us. In essence, they're just trying to keep us down. It's crazy. It's crazy. All right, somebody wrote me a paragraph, guys. If I could remind you, if you want me to comment on something, then write it in all caps, please. Trump has to be pressed by the people even harder. That's that he is in, or he will fold and do nothing like he did for... Oh, I don't think that's going to be a problem, Northwind. And welcome to the channel. I don't recognize you. Thanks for hanging out. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I don't think that's going to happen. You know, one of the shining lights of the weekend was when he showed up at Madison Square Garden again to a UFC fight, and the whole crowd greeted him. You know, so it's very clear that for the most part, America is tired of these games. You know, I see, the thing is, I don't understand the left. And if you're on the left and you're watching this, post something, you know, logical, okay? Post something non-emotional for us to discuss. Because what I don't understand is how anybody on the left can put more weight on grab them in the, okay, or sleeping with porn stars, okay? I don't understand how they can put more weight to that than the weight that is created by the economic failures, by milk, by bread, by gasoline, by beef, by food in general. Pretty much every single thing in the United States is up in price by 20 to 40%. They have to go to the store, so we can't pretend that every Democrat is rich, okay? We can't pretend that every Democrat is middle class and isn't really feeling, they can't take their boat out as much, or they had to sell their boat, or, you know what I'm saying? Or this isn't the time to buy toys, that kind of thing. We can't believe that they're all like that. So how did 76 million people decide that these moral platitudes that they expect their elected leaders to do is more important than the ability to feed your family, to pay your mortgage, to get to work? How did they put more weight in morality than factuality? How did that happen? And I'm going to try, there's actually a cop behind me. He's not really chasing me. He's after somebody else. I'm getting ready to go into a speed zone, to be honest with you. So how did we get to that? And if I miss your, and if you're a liberal and you put something in the chat, then give me a second and I will. I'm in one of those towns where you don't speed, and this town is actually fully representative by all 3 levels of law enforcement here within the state of Virginia. Very well represented. My luck, he's a fire marshal. All I see is a light and a Ford Explorer. All right, let's see here. Nope, he's a sheriff. And I just drove into his county. That's hilarious. All right, let's see here. I'm going to try and glance at the chat here. I agree the people are behind him. I worry the people around him. Yeah, he had that problem last time. I don't think that's going to be his problem this time. God dang it. Now I got to sit right next to this freaking deputy. Which is not a big deal. I'm not breaking the law, but you get that feeling in your gut. You know what I'm saying? Hello from Canada. Sorry to hear that, my friend. Sorry to hear that. And if I missed, shit, I'm gonna try and scroll. Watching from the People's Republic of Michigan. What's up, Joseph? Arkansas. Do you see Dem shadow government? Did you see a Dem shadow government list? I did not. Please tell me more. Where did you read that, guys? Once again, if we're interacting, please use all caps. I've been doing good so far here, but hello from Tennessee. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. I'm trying not to speed like I am right now. Son of a bitch. And so far the lights are being pretty nice. Collaboration complete. What collaboration with who? What are you talking about, man? Bullseye. What are you talking about? Collaboration? Question mark. Sorry. Let me get out of this little town. I've only got one more light, I think. Me. What do you want to collaborate on, bro? Seen it up on Fox News. They had a counter to each of Trump's appointees. You believe Trump will help the gun situation here in California? No, California's done, guys. Sorry, California's done. As long as you have, listen, there's a such thing as a supermajority, and there is California makes supermajorities look like a joke. As long as people are still dumb in California, you're going to have problems with your government there. You know, the rest of the nation actually looks at California like, God, you guys are freaking idiots. You know, you've got miles and miles and miles of red tape and laws and regulations that these lefties that you put into office, you know, freaking make all these decisions that are bad, and then you sit back and go, well, this isn't good. It will take the citizenry of the state of California to stand up and say no. But you know what? Wasn't there just an election? Didn't like the state go like 99% blue? You know? Move. That's your solution. Move. And as far as this this shadow government, you know, they're always going to be like, well, no, don't use this guy, use that guy, you know, because that's on their preference sheet. That doesn't really mean anything. It doesn't really mean anything. They think they're giving alternatives, and they're all talking points. They're like, this is their way of saying we can do it better. You know, that's all it is. Let's see. I'm outdoor hunting and fishing, and I'm an outdoor hunting and fishing and prepping channel. Okay. Something just got. I don't think I have any mod. I haven't seen any mods in here yet. Let me see here. What do we got? View message. What? Shit. I can't read it. Let's see here. It's all. California is gone. All the women have penises. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, bro. I can't get that. I can't put that on YouTube. That'll trigger so many people. It's not even funny. Let's see. We actually had the majority Republicans this time around the cut of the ballots at 58%. Well, then let's see these Republicans in office, bro. I mean, that shows how much I know about California, other than it's gone. You know, fix it. They need to fix themselves. If that's, I mean, my point stands. You get people in government and they do the right thing, you know. But you've got so many people that are like the underbosses. You know what I'm saying? You think people weren't put in place to make sure that their agenda continues even in their absence? The whole system needs to be cleaned out. The whole system needs to be cleaned out. It is so corrupt. We're not a banana republic. We're like a shiny banana republic. You know, we put on this facade. We're a mix between, you know, the mob and dirty Nicaraguan government. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty sickening what the United States has turned into. You know, and once again, and I'm telling you guys, once again, it's all about guns. Everything comes back to that focal point. They can't do anything to us that they want to without getting rid of the guns. It's the truth. Tyranny. Show some love. 75 in here, and we only have 13 likes. Yeah, well, okay. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. I guess I ran some Democrats off because it said I had like 94, 96 people in here, and now it's back to 98. I guess you know what? I'm not even going to do that. The YouTube algorithm is so fickle. It's not even funny. You know. Let's see here. Because there were way more Republicans this time. Okay, good. And I can't. It's difficult. It's difficult to write paragraphs. Read paragraph. My sister-in-law is ex-military. She said they will come for ammo, not guns. Well, who's they? Who's they, Hicktown? Yeah, the military doesn't need our guns. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the removal of the Second Amendment. The removal, you know, it's like, if you guys haven't figured out that the left, what they do is, when they can't get everybody's consensus, when they can't get consensus within the Congress to try and make an amendment, they come up with some stupid regulation. That's why, believe it or not, the ATF has been weaponized. You know, and you know, why would the ATF be showing up on somebody's doorstep? You know, their job is to stop alcohol people from making alcohol. You know what I'm saying? And selling it because it might kill somebody. Their job is to regulate tobacco, which is bullshit now because tobacco's basically gone in America. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's still crops. They still grow it. People still smoke it. They still export it, you know? But I'm here to tell you might want to do some research because Philip Morris's #1 profit has nothing to do with tobacco these days. And let's see, firearms. Oh, we could use this agency to not just regulate but control firearms. Why would we need to control firearms? Why would we possibly need to control firearms? You know, because, you know, my Glock hasn't freaking jumped out of its holster and shot anybody. I mean, not this one. The one I used to carry did. But this one is pretty tame. I bought this one as a civilian. It's pretty tame, you know what I'm saying? And it hasn't like leaped out and pew, shot anybody, all because it's a machine. It's a tool. It's something that requires a human being with a thinking brain to use. So it's pretty interesting. All right, let me check the chat here. Biden at G20 today. Yes, Biden is. Listen, man. Listen. I cannot believe. I've got to tell you, man. I tell you what, the language is trying to come out of me right now. It's trying so hard to come out of me. The language. When has an American president? Oh, it so gets under my skin. I don't like Joe. Never have. Not when he was in the Congress at all. He's a snarky little turd. He is a racist. And he's proven it over and over. But here's the thing. He is the sitting president of the United States of America. And you know, like when you look at like elementary school pitchers. It's pitcher day, right? And they all get him in the auditorium or in the gym, and they have to stand on these boards so they're a little bit taller. And you know, you got that one kid who's off on the corner, in the very back in the corner, and he's got that stupid look on his face. That's what they did to our president at the G20 over the weekend. There has never been a time where a sitting U.S. president has not been front and center. It's a signification, guys. It's a message that the G20 does not see the United States as a leader. I would invite everybody to go back and look at that picture and see who is sitting, or should I say standing, front and center. The two people that are standing in the very front center of that picture. And those are the people that the G20 believe are the global leaders. Those are the people that the G20 is going to follow. Let that one sink in for a minute. You think that Uncle Jojo hasn't destroyed our presence in the world? Hasn't made us a laughing stock? That one picture that they took should tell you everything. Should tell you everything. The look in his eyes, questionable. He knew exactly what was happening. He knew exactly what was happening. I would love to see the video of where people are being put into place, because he didn't go back there by himself. I bet you there was somebody like right here, Mr. President, grabbing him by his elbow, like, this is where you're standing today. That's my bet. Sleepy Joe, I would abolish gun laws and lobbying. Yeah, I mean, well, listen, you can't abolish all gun laws. You know, the thing is government does have its place. It does have a purpose. But, you know, it's, what was the other one? Abolish and lobbying. Yes, lobbying, guys. 100%. They need to make lobbying illegal. If there were two things you could do today that I could do today that would make America a better place, almost overnight, it would be to abolish lobbyists, make it illegal like it used to be, and get rid of big pharma or pharmaceuticals advertising on TV. 100% get rid of it. Have you guys ever noticed that? Hey, do me a favor. Put a 1 in the chat if you've ever seen a pharmaceutical advertisement on a YouTube video, like in the beginning, in the middle, or in the end. Do me a favor. Put a 1 in the chat if you've ever seen one before. I'm kind of curious because I think that the numbers are going to be small. Yeah. Term limits, definitely. I want to run in 2028. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Let's see what happens. There's 161 people in here. 4, 5. Let's see here. And end kickbacks for doctors prescribing drugs. 100%. 100%. 6. Maybe 7. I took my eyes off the screen for a second. So we're bouncing between 113 and 194 people. A maybe. And we're up to 8 and a maybe. You see what I'm saying? They only advertise where they think they can make money. Let that one sink in. And yeah, term limits is huge, guys. We talked about this the last live stream. I think that the magic number for that is 12 years. No. What was that? Yeah, 12 years. Maximum 12 years. And they got to go. You know what? Let's hype this up. We've actually been doing this for almost half an hour. I'm in that town where I shouldn't be speedy. Thank God he's got somebody pulled over. I'm going to slow down and move over. Slow down, move over. That's the law. I'd vote for you if you ran. Man, I got too many skeletons in my closet, that's for sure. It would just be it would be nothing but a complete a day-to-day attack. But yeah, I mean, I've contemplated running for office at the local level. But the thing is, you know, I'm generally a nice guy. I'm generally a people person. But I'm also pretty quick to tell somebody that they don't know what the hell they're talking about and they should shut up. Not because I don't want to hear what they have to say, but because they should have thought about something before they open their damn mouths. All right, we got some caps in there. What do we got here? Pharma is used to come to doctor's office and hospital and push not allowed now. Yeah, well, they don't have to. They can just send them emails now. Why would you not want to advertise where it makes money? Well, of course. What I'm saying is, okay, so it's all about the juice being worth the squeeze. The advertisers that advertise on YouTube, even though they're big companies, you know, you'll get like everything from a car commercial to whatever. They're not really spending a lot. Okay, well, I won't say they're not spending a lot. What I'll tell you is that the juice is not worth the squeeze on the YouTubes. Now, the algorithm is smart though. The algorithm can tell you what type of device that you're using. And have you ever noticed that there are videos? If you watch a video on your phone and there's no commercials, and then you watch it on the app on your TV, mysteriously there's commercials like every 15 minutes. Yeah. So it's smart. It can tell what device you're on, and that's what they're really looking at. No one's going to get anything about frickin' Cialis. No one's going to be like, oh, yes, let me watch this on my little phone about Cialis, okay? They're going to be like, they just want to swipe because you can do that. But on your TV, it's a little bit more complicated. So people just tend to, oh, there's a commercial, I'll just get up and go to the bathroom or get something to drink, you know, until this commercial's over with. And yeah, you have some skip options, but it's just not the same interaction. So they're going to put all their commercials on TVs. Let's see here. For many more hypocrites are there now because of medical TV advertising. I don't know what that means, Ian. Grandpa said, keep mouth shut. People know how little you know. Laugh out. Yeah. Yes. You know, I prefer people to think I'm the dumbest guy in the room. You know, what was it, Lincoln? I think someone tell me. All right, guy. Kind of systemic hole. Kind of systemic hole. You know, I don't know about that. You know, the general idea about preparedness is that you are, wow, man, I lost 160 viewers just now. That's amazing. Let's see here. It repopulates. I'm not sure. What's it say on you guys' screen? Because 195, 196, and I'm at 50 flat right now. We're Americans' hands to demand the government require and stop letting the richest people and companies do whatever they want. Absolutely. 100. Absolutely. There we go. We're back up to 110. That's weird, man, but it is what it is. I think it's just a matter of reconnecting everybody. All right, and if you guys are new to the channel, there's a lot of people here right now, so I know there's a lot of people that are new to the channel. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. It really does help out. If you haven't hit that thumbs up button, do that. And if you love your country, put a one in the chat. America. There we go. I'm going to drink some coffee. I'm going to talk some smack, and I'm going to wait for you to fill the chat. Hypochondriac. No. Sub, Master Shredder. Master Shredder. Oh, I love it, man. There's a lot of people in here that will know exactly what that means. It's starting to get a little warm in here. Yeah. Adjust the temperature. Let me adjust the temperature. Okay, so with all these ones flying in, guys, which absolutely do help, believe it or not. I appreciate you guys. If you guys are going to need to, if I did not answer your question or address you because you used caps, please repost, because that has all just went right up my screen with all the ones. Let's see here. Oh, gotta get some air. Freaking warm. It's getting warm. It's supposed to be like 76. It was like 38 this morning, and now it's going to be 76 here. America. What are we doing here? All right. Let's see here. Oh shit, I can't read it, man. You're a furry, okay, but I'm not stupid. Country needs actual rules and regulations, and won't. It's so hard to read when you write small like that. I really wanted to see the rest of it, but now it's gone. Well, you know, the thing is the country does need laws. The country needs laws. We don't need rules. We don't need regulations. Rules and regulations were created for authority to do things, and they had to write down those things that were going to make what they were trying to do possible and understandable, and a way that people would know. You know what I'm saying? But it got out of control. It slowly got out of control over 250 years, and now it's completely out of control. Completely out of control. Did Furry leave? Did Furry leave because he was like angry or something? I hope not. I'm like talking about what he or she was talking about. I felt that go hands free, be a lurker. Going hands free. It feels that Big Pharma were too influential. They used to give away and feed the staff. Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. Yeah, there was a time when Big Pharma was so, there were no laws that stopped them from doing it, and so they were able to gain influence with people because it's what they call personal influence. Why why go to the hospital administrator who may actually have a lick of sense and have some kind of moral high ground that he has to stay on because he's in charge, and say, hey, I'd really love your hospital to start using these drugs, and here's why: because they're super duper cool and they do this, 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 and this. And the administrator's like, I'm busy, and just leave that pamphlet with my secretary and I'll read it and give you a call back if things are going to change. Why go that route when you can go down to the hospital cafeteria? Put that back up. When you go down to the hospital cafeteria, sit down with some, use your salesman skills and sit down with freaking, some people in white coats and enrich their lives. Yeah. Looks like Brad is heading to his meeting. Which one? That's the question. Oh my God! And the friggin' man, the amount of people that pop in and out of here is so crazy. I kind of freak out a little bit when I go from like 200 to like 50, and then back up to it just bounces all over the place. But I'm just going to be thankful for what we got. So I don't see. Brother in Christ, brother. I really want to read what you're saying there, but you didn't write it in all caps. And the reason I have people write things in all caps is because I'm driving and it's easier for me to read. No meaning doing something cutting and welding. Oh, that sounds like fun. Hey, where are my auto mechanics? We got auto mechanics in here? I'm pooping off because I don't like your misuse of the Lord's name. Oh, well, what is it? Kelly, I appreciate you. And I respect your opinion, and I respect your right to pop off. So I won't say anything negative about what you're saying, except for you have the right to leave, but this is my channel, and I'll say what I want, and that's the way it's going to be. So I hope you have a great day. I truly do. Have a great day someplace else. Love you. All right, see here. And lots of smiles from Ian. You guys were just waiting to see how I was going to handle that, weren't you? Trailer mechanic, but I have worked on many different vehicles. Okay, well, I tell you, I got to get around this guy. He's throwing some stuff and not going to. Whenever I fill the tank up on this Explorer, the gas meter drops. It's like below. I know the tank is full. I watched gas come out of it, but it says that it's so. I'm curious. It sounds to me like it's a float issue. This is a 2000 I think 2004 Explorer, and it sounds like a float issue. But I've never seen a float issue where the gas gauge drops all the way down below empty. All right, let's see here. But I have worked over around here probably. So the light is really bad because the connection is cutting in and out. All right, brother in Christ. Oh, you wrote no caps. Some of my friends call me crazy, Noah, because I help warning him. Oh, okay, they call you crazy Noah. That's funny, man. I really wish I could read more of it, but it's a whole paragraph, and I'm taking my eyes off the road way too much, and it's going to happen again. Gotcha. Cutting out a lot. Can you put in Discord later? I'll try and help. Okay. Yeah, I am in I should be coming out of a dead zone right now because I'm getting close to the bridge. So the connection should get better. No hospital food for the docks, restaurants, or catering. I got you. No, I'm tracking with you. Yeah, I mean, you want to invite the doctors to supper, to lunch? You want to buy them some fancy food? Hell yeah, they're going to be like, yes. Tell me more. Tell me more about this magical drug you want me to. You want to be my pimp? Oh, I would love that. You're going to take care of me, right? You're going to rub my butt when I tell you I had a bad day? Could be a sword in the float when it's full position. I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it's float related. It only happens when I fill up all the way. But the thing is I've kind of like tried to like jostle the vehicle, but it doesn't work. And just little by little, sooner or later it'll go back to where it's supposed to go. So I just got to keep an eye on my trip meter. Wednesday on the golf links. There you go. Could be a short. There we go. No hospital. All right, so I got nothing fresh in the chat, guys. Hook me up. Hey, what's up? What's up? 85 people? I know there's more than that in here, but 85 people and only 27 thumbs up? Come on, hook a brother up. God, it's not like I'm asking for money. It is Monday. Maybe I should call it like Monday, because you guys know I only do the promotions, you know, what is it, twice a week. So maybe I'll call it Money Monday or something like that. All right, I got nothing in the chats. I got 100 people in here. If you want to talk about something, put it in the chat. Do me a favor. I prefer all caps so I can read it. We're about 2-3 miles from the Bay Bridge, the tunnel bridge, CBBT, Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel. Let's see here. I'm getting nothing, guys. I'm getting nothing. You guys must be like frantically typing. Trump. What about him? Is that Viking? Gadget Viking or Gadgetini 62636? That's your prison number, right? You know, I used to joke about that. It was hilarious. People on TikTok, they wanted to stay anonymous, so they wouldn't like make a profile per se. They would just use the number that TikTok gave them when they started their account. So that was their prison number. Dude's got to be stressed. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't think he is. I think he's like, okay, remember this happened before? We knew this was coming. Everybody stay cool. We know how to deal with this. I don't think he is stressed, man. There's nothing for him to be stressed about. You know, and that's obviously my personal opinion. But, you know, he doesn't look stressed. The pictures I'm seeing of him, he don't look stressed. Can we turn the camera around when we get to the bridge tunnel? Give you guys something to better to look at than me. Nightly tunnel road work. Reception should be poor in the tunnel unless they have cell antennas. Oh no, they have great. They have great reception out here. Once you get past that little spot where I was all jittery, like now it's slowly getting better. And once you get to the tunnel area, boom, like out over the water, crystal clear. I don't know how they're doing it, but even inside the tunnels, they have repeaters inside the tunnels. Let's see here. Greetings again from Egypt. Wow, I didn't think my reach was that far. Thank you, and yeah, it's starting to get a little bright here. I'd be super stressed. Where are we at? I'd be super stressed once I found out Biden gave Ukraine the go-ahead to use U.S. bombs in Russia. You know, I honestly think that there's people that, you know, you've got the Hatch Act that precludes anybody from messing in governmental affairs, international affairs between governments, unless they're duly appointed. But I honestly believe that people are talking to people anyway. I think that, I guess I better turn the camera around for you guys. We'll still talk. Let's see here. Come on there. I hit it. Oh, I gotta hit it again. There we go. There we go. We'll face it that way. There you go. We're gonna zip right in here. Quit talking, man. Go ahead, talk. Quit yapping. You quit your yapping. And boop, boop, boop. Automatic. There was something that I was reading over the weekend about the French air-launched cruise missiles that are being given to the Ukrainians. Ha 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 ha. Interesting stuff, huh? Ukrainians with cruise missiles? I think that they're going to try and do anything they can possibly do to keep this war going. And it's a little scary. It's a little scary. But I think what Trump's approach is going to be is to contact, instead of going via NATO and addressing NATO, you know, there's like a way that you do things within an organization. This is like going right back to the doctors. Do you talk to the guy who's running the show, or do you go talk to the doctors individually and make it worth their while? You know, all Trump's got to do is just go talk to each one of these presidents and say, it's not in our best interest. Oh, but they're at our back, they're at our door. Well, you know, they didn't attack for like 50 freaking years. You know, this is not rocket science, guys. This is some of the simplest, most common sense, human level type thinking stuff that can easily be applied. Whenever we get screwed up, it's all because somebody just decided to add a layer of red tape or add some reason to do something that's not necessary, you know. No, you can't just come through the front door. You've got to jump over these hurdles. Okay, jumped over the hurdles. Oh, no, now you've got to move through this obstacle course. Okay, move through the obstacle. And the idea is to slow them down before actually getting to the person, because when you get to that person and you talk to him, and he says that he agrees to something, and then he doesn't do something, then you literally like, listen, I don't know what's going on, America. I went and I talked to President so-and-so. I talked to him personally, went through all his junk, and we both agreed that this should not be happening. But for some reason, this guy is like, no, his word's not good. He needs to, you know, I wonder if his people know that he's keeping his people in a perpetual state of war. You know, and then that doesn't look good on him, and you know, unfortunately, we have some people that are in, you know, you've still got the German Chancellor, you've still got Macron over there in France, you know, and then you got people lining up, and then you lock that all in with BRICS, you know. There's going to be so many problems that have to be taken care of on a very personal level. All right, let me look at the chat here before we go. Do one in the booths, Andy. Do one in the booths. I don't know what that means. I don't want to wreck my car trying to figure that out. And Jay, I appreciate the paragraph you wrote me, bro, but I can't read that while I'm driving over this bridge, okay? Bullets, guys. Questions, statements. Something simple. Not sure what Mike is laughing about, but okay. No aircraft carriers today. A lot of ships, though. A lot of cargo ships coming in and out. You can see them on the horizon, lined up. No one. I don't know what that means, Rose. No one in booths anymore. Where are you? I am on the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel. It's about 26 miles long. Crosses the Chesapeake Bay. And it's a small bridge, long bridge, tunnel, long tunnel. I'm sorry, long bridge, tunnel, long bridge, land. Ugh. Russia doesn't want NATO in backyard like we don't want Russia in China. Yeah, you know, this is legitimate. This is legitimate. But here's the thing, you know, there was this whole promise that NATO would never expand to meet a Russian border. And it did. It did. So Russia is going to play this as a threat and a reason to do things. The problem is that there's no real threat there. NATO is not this organization, NATO. It's not this uber power that Russia wants you to think it is. And also, guys, this was never about this whole thing in Ukraine was just a reason to do it. This whole situation in Ukraine was never about territory or people or, you know, Ukraine being part of the original Russia territories. It was never about that. It has always been about petroleum. Most of the big wars have actually been fought over petroleum. Whether it's liquid natural gas or it's crude oil or whatever it is, there's almost always a pipeline involved. You remember those two pipelines? Yeah. Those two pipelines that Russia had. You remember those? You know, one of them we blew up, the other one was just like, whatever. But it's still there. This is about Russia's ability to control petroleum in Eastern Europe, extending into Western Europe. Trump talked about this years ago. You know, Germany is like, Russia's the enemy. The enemy's Russia. Where does Germany get all of its gas from? Russia. It's pretty simple, really. And if you make it so that the Russians can't get their monies from Russian oil and natural gas being pumped in through an infrastructure that they paid millions upon millions of dollars to set up, what do you think is going to happen? What did you really think was going to happen? This is not about sovereignty. This is about petroleum. Petroleum and petroleum-based products, man. That's what it's really all about. All right, we're getting ready to hit a tunnel. We're getting ready to hit a tunnel. I'm going to try and, the chat is, it's kind of translucent, so I can't. Russia doesn't. Okay, we read that one there. And everybody's, people that don't know, shall we play a game? Shall we play a game? A game? Yep. Hopefully you know what that is, but I don't know, man. I don't know if we'd ever get to that point of global thermal nuclear war. Yeah, let's play that game. I still think that people often forget, you know, this whole thing where they're talking about like you could survive this or you could survive that. Yeah, and if your dog had a square asshole, he could shit bricks. You know, anything is possible. Limited exchange, it's actually against our national policy of defense. You know, proportional damage. Yeah, that's not really how war works. That's how things happen when you're not at war. But once you launch a nuke, you're at war. All right, guys, now you got to let me know what the signal's like in here, because I've never had a problem in here. This guy's a dope. He is not maintaining the speed like he's supposed to. We're just going to take our foot off the gas. Let's see. I don't know why they all slow down going uphill. Oh, ears are popping. If a frog had wings, it wouldn't bump its butt. That's hilarious. Sorry, my ears are all popping and everything, and I'm just kind of trying to stay focused. It's actually kind of narrow in here. But it's interesting how they build these tunnels too, because the walls that they put, they're called edge walls. when they put them in, they're designed to like keep cars in place. So if you like slammed into them, your car wouldn't like go up on the rails or anything. All right, back out here into the beautiful sunlight coming out. It's kind of bright. It's kind of bright. I'm gonna have to put my sunglasses back on here in a second. But when I put my sunglasses on, I can't see the chat. All right, and it is bright as shit out here. Wow. Close quarters. Yeah, it's a little tight in there. It's not that bad though. Well, you know, the thing is, so getting back on point. Let me sip some coffee here. Let me sip some coffee. And once again, I don't know why people are slacking today. I think it's just because we have a lot of new people. So new people, what we do to draw people into these discussions is that we give thumbs up, we interact in the chat, because there's certain algorithmic pieces that tells the YouTube algorithm, hey, this is pretty cool, we're doing this or we're doing that. You know, so if you have not hit that thumbs up button, guys, I would greatly appreciate it, because I don't think you're going to be, all of you will be around until the end of this live stream, since I normally do it for like 5 hours while I'm driving. You know, the subject just started, it starts to get a little, yes, Bay Bridge, that you're correct. Let's see here, headlights off. Nope, headlights were on, bro. So, whee, windshield wipers. Nope, headlights are on automatic anyway. Yes, headlights on. You going to DC? No, I am not. I'm not going to DC. I'm going to North Carolina. I'm going to the Homestead. I'm going to be doing a lot of traveling during the winter and doing work on the Homestead during the winter. All right, so let's go ahead and throw another topic in the chat there, because, I mean, we can go on for days about... I'm going way too fast, and that's a cop. There we go. You guys are distracting me. This is distracted driving. Oh, yeah. Let's see here. Nothing in the chat. 141 people, 31 thumbs up. Those numbers don't align. They are not in correlation with each other. No cats this trip. No, the cats. So the cats stay at the house or at the homestead now, and the cats have automatic feeders and waterers, and I would die before those cats die. They're not going to starve. They've got it all. But I tell you what, they probably are going a little stir crazy, because once I had them out there, they love being outside. And it got to the point now where Prepper Cat, she doesn't even care about food in the morning. She just wants to go outside. But I tell you what, it's pretty good for the litter box. That's for sure. What is your... Man, I wish I could read that. What is your... Shit. This week. What is your projects this week? Oh my God, I have such piles of projects. Well, I owe you guys some videos. Those are my first. I hate to say it, but those are the priorities. I'm set up in preparedness to the point right now where I don't have to do a lot of stuff. I just have to maintain. So I owe you guys some videos. I'm going to be making those. One of those is on the bear fac. And the reason I'm making that is because I thought I had a bear fac, but I actually have a bear mini, and I want to show people how to turn a bear mini into a bear fac. And let's see, what was the other video? There's a couple other ones that I owe you guys, but they're on a list, and I will go down the list, starting with the bear fac. My projects at the homestead. Let me get some coffee before we get in this tunnel. My projects at the homestead. I have to, this last week I removed a lot of dead branches, debris, things like of it, so that I have firewood for whenever I want to have a fire. Nothing huge, like these like 1 and 2 inch logs, you know, breaking it down. I process all of my wood like I would as if I were in like starting a fire at a campsite. You know what, pencil lead size, pencil size, thumb size, log size, and then I'll actually process it down and then stage it for it to dry out. But, and I've got it all over the place right now. What I've got to do is consolidate it and then get it into, process it down and then store it. But I would say that's a major, I would say that's one of my major projects. I also want to zero the rifle. It's got a good zero on it now, but I'm not totally satisfied with it because, yeah, well, my background says everything needs to be perfect when it comes to long guns. But yeah, if you guys saw that short, I did yesterday or the day before, I can't remember. And I've got to zero the optics on that long gun. So there's that task. I might work on the range. It does need some work, but that's kind of like low on the list. And I might actually replace the kitchen sink spigot. Oh, come on, man, really? This freaking guy has been nothing but trouble the whole damn time. He just doesn't know what the right pedal is for. I don't understand it. He wants to do like 59. Oh, it's not him. I forgot. It's an old lady. See, now I can't be mean to him. It's some old lady. Oh, look, she just found. Now there she goes. Whee! She found her pedal. She found her pedal. My cruise is locked, bro. She found her pedal. All right, what do we got here? More fireside chats. Yes, I believe so. Hopefully I won't wake up in the morning like with my lungs full of smoke again. But yes, more fireside chats. You know, the winter's coming. That's a perfect reason for a fire. I've got plenty of wood set aside. You know, I've got wood dried up from like 2 years ago that needs to be burned up. She is on the prowl. Be kind to old lady. I know. I am camping in the snow in the slow lane. Yeah. It is what it is. It is what it is. That's why I was in the passing lane. Yeah, I mean, it's like the road rage instantly gets turned off when it's like some elderly person. You know, if it's just Joe Schmo screwing around, yeah, road rage will continue. But if it's some octogenarian, yeah, I pretty much let that. It's like, yeah, we're just gonna let that slide right off. They've earned it. They've earned it. They're alive. All right, let's see here. All right, so I'm gonna switch back because we are there. We are in Virginia Beach, and I can't read the chat over there. Also, guys, while I'm in that until I get out on 17, which will probably be in about 20 minutes tops. My ability to read that chat unless I'm at a stoplight will be very limited. So let's get a subject in the chat, and I'm gonna drink a little coffee. Let's get some subject in the chat that will keep me going through Virginia Beach. I wish there was more for you to see in Virginia Beach, but there's just not. Nope, I respect them for their age, but they been driving long enough to get out of my way. I got you, man. Well, I look at it this way, you know, as we get older, our brains do slow down. As we get older, we do things slower, and we do things slower because not just because our bodies are changing, okay, we're slowly dying, but because old people truly understand what smooth is fast, fast is smooth means, because they've been doing something for so long that they're literally just like, I'm just gonna slide right over here. I'm gonna, oh yeah, oh look, there's a truck in front of me, he's braking, I'm gonna change lanes. And I play elevator music in my head while I'm doing these things. Yeah. You know, so that's the way their brains work, and they understand that their vision isn't great, and their reaction speed is slower. You know, so they slow things down, and that's my perspective on it anyway. That's my perspective. Let the old people drive until they're dangerous, and then let's have a conversation. Until then, just drive around them. Asked about economic collapse earlier, aside from WFS. Aside from water food security. Okay, so economic collapse. I think that could get us through Virginia Beach. Currently, there is a campaign on the left to completely distract America from what they did to our economy over the last 4 years. Everything is a distraction. Every time the right tries to bring your focus back towards the center where the economy is, okay, because the economy is not left and the economy is not right. The economy is always center, all right? Every time there is a focus, or they attempt to focus us back onto the center where we have it's like a common enemy. The enemy is my friend. So we have this common enemy called inflation. And they don't want us to blame them for it. But they also don't want people to know that it's there. They want them to stay angry and fighting and in turmoil all the time. Okay? No stop before become dangerous. Rose, I don't know what you're talking about. No stop before they become dangerous. Oh, I see. You're talking about the old lady, the octogenarians. Well, I tell you what. Grandma is freaking the best parallel parker on the planet, and she's 84 years old. I think we're done here. Anyway, so it's all a distraction. That's the first thing. The next thing is that the economic problems that we have, not just in America but globally, are very real. They're very real for us in the United States because we live here in the United States. Because we're paying in some places $8 for a gallon of milk. And you know, I don't understand, and it's funny too because I don't understand why the people in California aren't like rip-roaring mad the economy is so bad and how things are going there in California. It doesn't make any sense to me. So the economy itself has not changed since the election. Okay, November 7th came and went, and the price of the price of bread is still freaking, you know, way too much. It's bread. You should never be paying more than $1 for a loaf of bread. And God, if you please never buy Walmart bread. It's the worst bread on the planet. But you know, if you're paying anywhere from $3.50 to $4 for a loaf of bread, you're going to get good bread. But you know what? It doesn't have to be that expensive. Another piece of the economy is the fact that companies have been taking advantage of inflation. When I say that, what I'm telling you is that there are companies out there that are not trying to say, oh, well, you know, the cost of ingredients have gone through the roof. The cost of this are more expensive. So we have to pass that on to the consumer. And some of that's true. Some of it's true. But there's a percentage of it that's not true. That is a flat out lie. And that there are companies out there that are taking advantage of people via inflation because they can get away with it right now. You remember about a month ago, that old Hamala and freaking Uncle Jojo were talking about how they were going to be going after companies for taking advantage of the public. Yeah, well, that was a real thing. The problem is they didn't know what they were talking about. They had no companies that they were going to target. They just wanted to do this. They just wanted to look like heroes. That's all they wanted. Okay? They were never going to do anything about it. Now, I think that now that Captain Red Tie is on his way to the Oval Office, that we should see some changes. But if you think I'm wrong, and I can only tell you from my perspective, the day after the election, you remember I was telling you guys about this. Gas was locked at $2.99 a gallon for regular or unleaded, all right, for months on end. Months on end. The price of gasoline was locked at $2.99 where I live. The day after election, the day after the election, it went up to $3.09 and has not changed. They can't use the, well, we're going to the winter formula, because the winter formula is actually cheaper than the summer formula. They always use that during the summertime, right? They're just trying to see if anybody's paying attention. There's no freaking like stopping, you know, there's no stoppage or possible crisis that's going to stop the flow of oil in any direction right now. There's no hurricanes knocking over things in freaking the Gulf of Mexico. So why did it happen? And why so small? It's simple. The price of gasoline was being artificially manipulated to benefit the shareholders because they know that things are about to change. It's pretty simple if you think about it. Let's see. So we almost made it out of out of Virginia Beach without this. If prices aren't rising, packages are shrinking. Yeah, I mean, yeah, shrinkflation. Yeah, no, I'm tracking with you. But you know, another thing too is, some of the packaging that I see, because I do a lot of work with Amazon. I am an Amazon affiliate. Anyway, some things, it's kind of sad, I'll be honest with you. But, I mean, there's a reason for it. But some things are so small, but the packages are like 100 times the size of the object. Not a joke. I have purchased things off of Amazon that could fit in the palm of my hand. And they're in boxes this big, because Amazon only has so many types of boxes. All right? And if a box is really, really small, there's a good chance it's going to get lost. There's also sorting systems issues. The systems that they use to mechanically to sort things, that means without people, are only designed to handle certain size packages. So say size 1 through 10, for lack of better words. Anything smaller than size 1, the machines freak out a little bit, or they don't make it. So they just don't package it. So they're literally using these boxes that are 4 times the size of the package, and then filling them with some kind of, you know, poofy air thing that came from China. So it's interesting to see that they have to do that. With the giveaway boxes that I do, I just do, I make sure that what I'm sending fits in one of those boxes. It's like, if you stuff it in there and it fits, then it goes no matter how heavy it is, that kind of thing. So it's crazy. Let's see here. Little Debbie Christmas tree cakes shrank half and doubled in price. I believe that was Virginia Pappy. Listen guys, have you seen that picture that's floating around of what a Big Mac used to look like versus what it looks like now? That'll blow your mind. Because I remember when the Big Mac was big, and it's not, because it wasn't one of those kid memories where you think everything's huge because you're small. You know, I remember the packaging that the Big Mac came in. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny too. The Big Mac box, the box that the Big Mac comes in, it still dwarfs the actual Big Mac itself. All right, getting on the highway here. I'm going to need to focus in that direction. Once I get out on the highway, we're going to talk about tariffs, because it's almost stupidity the way the left is trying to. You know what? I hate to say this, but I think there's a lot of really dumb people out there that wear blue ties. I really do. I mean, probably no more than wear red ties. But because of the way they consume their information, they believe what they're told. You know, people with red ties are told something and say, if you don't believe me, go check it out yourself. And a lot of them do. But with tariffs, I don't think, you know what, I'm going to need to put my sunglasses on and everything, guys. This is going to get a little tricky jumping out here on the highway like this. Pedal all the way down to the floor. Here we go. All right, that's 1 lane, 2 lane. All right, let's go there, stupid square car. If you've ever driven a Cube before, guys, just don't even talk about the Cube. The Cube is like the worst go-kart that they put an engine in ever. One just passed me. He's happy. So tariffs, all right. So the liberal agenda that everybody's regurgitating on the major MSMs about tariffs is that, well, tariffs are bad for the country. They're bad for America because all they do is they pass on those increased prices to the consumer. Tariffs are bad. And that's the end of anything that they say. 53 Nobel laureates have stated that tariffs are bad and they'll destroy the economy. This is nothing more than the pre-positioning so that whether Trump uses tariffs or not, when the economy crashes, Trump will be blamed. You guys have to know and be ready for that. That's a big truck. I'm going to let that big truck drive past. He's filling up the whole window right there. All right. Sorry once again. I still have to stay focused. People are maniacs. This fucking guy. What the fucking asshole, man. Jesus, where the fuck is he going? He almost ran over like 2 people. Excuse me, I think I just cussed a lot. Mario Andretti and his beefed up Jeep came within a foot of me, both coming and going, and then almost ran into another car that was changing lanes that he pushed out of the way, basically. And he's still making his way up there. We're going to stick back, and I'm going to keep an eye on this guy because he's the kind of guy that's going to he's probably going to kill somebody up here, and I may have to get out and use my tourniquet. There is just no telling what's going to happen. Hopefully he doesn't, but it's really bad. So here's the truth about tariffs, guys. Here's the truth about tariffs. So Captain Red Tie goes over to frickin', Pyongyang and says, hey, listen, guys, if you keep doing this, no, that's stupid. Let's go to Mexico, okay? He goes on over to Mexico, has himself a chimichanga, wears a sombrero, does a little bit of cultural appropriation, but in general, the tequila makes everybody happy, right? During that process, he says to the president of Mexico, who is, by the way, a total socialist, and she's a child. I hate to say it, she's a child. But anyway, he says, hey, listen, if you don't stop all this craziness that's happening on our borders, I'm going to hit you with a 200% tax. Let's be nice. Let's say a 200% tariff on all products coming out of Mexico and across the U.S. border. And, well, now this one person there, El Presidente, literally El Presidente, Mexico, is now going to have this mindset of, well, the businesses will just pass that on to the consumers, and your consumers won't like it, and now you're going to suffer. But see, guys, these things are words. They're not facts, okay? And here's why. So, El Presidente now has to explain to all the big businessmen, million-dollar businessmen in Mexico, why tariffs are now there, how her inability to negotiate or play nice with another country, and she's going to look like a bag of dog shit. Excuse my French. She's not going to look like a good El Presidente, all right? That's what's going to happen over there, all right? And then they're going to try and say, well, okay, we're just going to raise the prices of everything. And here's the funny thing. If they raise the prices, the tariffs don't just stay the same. So 200% of $100 is $200, right? Hopefully I'm getting my math right here, but I think you're getting the picture. So if their product was $400, the tariff is still 200%. And now they have to try and sell it for $800. Well, you know what happens? Businesses in America don't buy their products anymore. It's that easy. Let's say in their fictitious little mind that they're playing these games in, that somehow they do pass that on and a company in America does buy it to sell here in America. So like, let's go to Wally World, right? So you go to Wally World, you find your little tchotchke that you can normally get for, you know, say $5, and it's $10 now. Well, do you buy the tchotchke? Do you really need it? You start to think about things a little bit differently. Instead of like, it's just only $5, it's not a big deal. Now it's $10. You start thinking about how many Starbucks coffees you can drink for $10, maybe one or two. You start thinking about things like, I'm going to need that money to put it in my, you know, to buy yogurt for my kids' lunches. You start thinking about things like that. You start thinking about like, oh my God, that's like 2 gallons of gas. What am I doing? And you start to second guess your choice to buy these tchotchkes. And so people in general will stop buying these tchotchkes because they've doubled in price. Well, how does Walmart feel about that? Well, that's not good. Now they got to find what they're going to do with all these things that are in stock that nobody is buying, because they still, believe it or not, whether it's food or tchotchkes, they still use the just-in-time method for logistics. And so now they've got warehouses full of tchotchkes they can't sell, and they've got to find some way to offload these things. And it's never going to happen. They're overpriced. They pay too much money for them. They're going to have to sell them for pennies on the dollar. And some company's going to swoop in and go, wow, we'd really love to buy those tchotchkes for 30 cents. We think they'll make a great addition to our stores. And then that company is going to sell them for their original price. Hey guys, remember when tchotchkes were only $5 a piece? Guess what? They are at our store. We got a super deal for you. We had a major distributor cancel an order. You remember those commercials? Yeah, My Pillow guy. The other thing that's going to happen is that companies, you know, if the tchotchke is something that the American people really, really like, in the business world they call them widgets, but I didn't want to do that. So if the tchotchke is something the American people really, really like, and they can't afford to buy them from Mexico anymore because they're just too damn expensive, because they had to pass that on to us, right? All right, dangerous intersection coming up here, guys. I might shut up for a second, but I'm gonna try and ramble on. There's just a lot of cars here doing weird things. What'll happen is that these companies will start looking for other companies to fill the void, to fill that vacuum. I hate frickin' the clover leaves in Virginia. They're so badly designed, so dangerous. Get out of the way, truck. Damn, let the other guy in. Dumbass. So anyway, so what happens is that vacuum gets filled by what they call the free market. Oh, now we're talking about American terms, aren't we? Yeah. And the free market says, hey, you know, say it's Walmart, and they're trying to find a distributor for this particular tchotchke that can make them, right? And maybe an American company, because for some reason we make everything more expensive here in America. I think it has everything to do with labor, to be honest with you. Come on, let me in, dumbass. Don't be flying up there in front of me. There we go. Dangerous people. Dangerous people. So anyway, so they go out and they find themselves a company here in the United States and say, can you make us some tchotchkes? And can you get them down to this price point? And they say, well, yes, sir, we can. And then what just happened? Because we went from tariffs being bad, what's that noise? To tariffs being good, because tariffs actually influenced the free market, filled the vacuum with an American product that may or may not be a little bit more expensive than the regular $5 tchotchke. Maybe it's $6 or $7. But you know what? It's not $10. And we just created an American business model. So tariffs are not bad at all. And don't let any left-wing liberal nutbag tell you so. All right, guys. Once I get around this truck, it's pretty much free reign all the way to North Cackalack. And then at which time I can like look at the chat. I got one more bridge I got to go over. I don't think this is Mount Trashmore, but it is definitely a dump. That is for sure. All right, we're getting there, and yeah, that's the story of tariffs. You got to play things out to what they call third order effects. You got to play them out all the way in the paradigm. If this happens, this happens. If this happens, this happens. And that's what the left is not doing. They're not seeing the good that it does. Now, while this is all happening, there will be this wave of criticism, and it's going to be painful. It's going to absolutely be painful for the United States, because we won't be able to buy tchotchkes. And that's it. That's absolutely it. And there's going to be factoids and studies done by the left, and you know, they'll be fact-checked by Snopes, which is a joke. And they'll leave data out. It'll be very similar to, that's yellow lights. Let's move over here. It'll be very similar to the FBI's crime statistics, but they just left this out and they just left that out. Maybe they left these other things out. And everything's just fine, or it's not fine, whichever it's going to be. What the hell's going on, guys? Damn surface truck driving. And that's what it'll be. It'll be painful. It'll be painful for a little while, and then everything will be okay. All right, let's see here. 85 to 105 people in here, and only 37 thumbs up. Tell me I'm wrong, guys. Tell me I'm wrong. All right. Wish Ollie's company buy out stores. The clothes need to know prices. Well, yeah, Ollie's is pretty awesome. I just wish Ollie's had more selection, you know, because I mean they have a great business model. Ollie's does, and I just wish they had like some of the stuff that I wanted to buy. They have lots of good stuff, don't get me wrong, but I just wish they had more stuff that I wanted to buy. I've bought a bed from Ollie's. I've bought carpets from Ollie's. I bought outdoor furniture from Ollie's. Bought school supplies from Ollie's. You know, but there's just other things like I wish Ollie's sold bullets. That would be awesome. Let's see here. Items. Shit, I can't read that. Roses. Item country of origin listed as China. Import states American made. So item made imported materials. You're on. Oh. Oh, really? McAridant says, I'm unbelievably wrong. I'm unbelievably wrong. So, whatever the hell your name, Aridant, that it should be, it's actually, you're new, bro. I don't recognize you. So, 1, I love you. 2, thanks for hanging out. But 3, I'm tracking with you. I believe that you believe that I'm wrong. Okay? But everything that I just said was completely factual. Those are all the things that happen. This happens, that happens. This happens, that happens. Do you believe that The free market has the ability to fill a vacuum that is left by a company or in this case, country that is no longer filling that vacuum. Yes or no in the chat there, Mick, whatever your name is, Mick Arrogant. We got Ollies and Big Lots. Do you think Trump will help America jobs-wise? I've been unemployed since COVID-19. Sean, you know, I don't know your particular situation. I don't know your particular situation. Though, you know, one, stop following the jobs, these job statistics. They're completely useless. You know, every time. Well, here's what I'll say. I wouldn't trust any of the job statistics that came out during Captain Blue Tie's, you know, reign, because within 1 month, within 1 to 3 months, they would revise the job statistics and not say anything. It's like, oh well, we were all screwed up. We knew, we just didn't want to say it when the reporting time came because they have a mandatory reporting period. You know. What's up, Cindy? But here's, you know, what's your name? Still use skill issue Sean. I don't know what that is. So Sean, okay. So Sean, I don't know what you say you're unemployed since COVID-19. That's a long damn time. I mean, I don't know what you do for a living. But if you can't find a job in your chosen profession, then you should choose another profession. And let me tell you a story because I'm not a hypocrite, okay? I spent 20 years in the Marine Corps. I literally took off one uniform and put on a civilian uniform and did very similarly a job as I did as in the Marine Corps as a civilian contractor. I leaned to my skills. My skills had lots to do with green gear and bullet launchers and pew-pew and bad people doing bad things. I did that for a year. I realized my life was more important than the agenda of this company or the agenda of our country. So I changed my path. I got into military training, technology, simulation, things like that. Okay? Got pretty good at it. Kind of well known in the community. And then Mr. Obama decided one day that he was going to stop all government contracting, all new contracts. And if you don't know what that means that all these people that live from contract to contract to contract based on their one skill they're really good at no longer had a way to do their jobs. And they were unemployed. I had started my own company. I was getting business. I was working with the government on these contracts. And Obama dropped in and said, no more government contracting. All contracts are ceased right now. If we're in one right now, whatever, but no new contracts. So Obama destroyed my business overnight. I had to pack up. I had to move back to North Carolina because I was down in Florida in the hub of military simulation technology down in Orlando. I had to do that. And while I was waiting, you know, I was looking for a job. I was looking for a job in my chosen field. Couldn't find one. But while I was doing that, I actually worked for an armored car company. I actually worked in a pawn shop because I had to pay the bills regardless of my chosen profession. Now, as I was waiting, it took about a year actually. I wasn't paying a lot of bills. Credit cards were being maxed out and only paid such and such, and I was using every legal loophole I could find to keep them from taking my house. And I was winning. To be honest with you, I was winning. And then somebody called me one day and said, hey, listen, that stuff's all over with, and we know who you are, and we want to give you a buttload of cash to come do this job for us. And I was like, right on. The point of the story is that anybody who tells me that they have been unemployed since COVID, it's questionable. And I'm not trying to be personal. I'm not trying to be mean. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm telling you is that if your chosen profession isn't working out for you, it's time to choose another profession. It's that easy. I don't care if you can't walk. I don't care if you're in a wheelchair. I don't care if you work from home. You got to find another profession. All right, so that, sorry for that diatribe there, guys. Just really bothers me when somebody tells me that they haven't worked since COVID, that somehow it's the government's responsibility to find them a job, to make things easier for them. It's kind of scary. It's kind of scary. It's nothing personal, bro. Nothing personal. All right, I'm getting a lot of glare on my screen. It's really too... J-Sox in the house. What's going on, Broseph? Mr. I got too many words in my name. Look on Maryland Judiciary. Man, I can't read that. It's not in caps. Sorry, Sean. Look on Maryland Judiciary something, something, something. It's not the government's problem. It's mine. I got you, Sean. I'm tracking with you, bro. So what is your chosen profession, Sean? Please don't say IT. Then you won't have a leg to stand on. Guys, you can put a subject in the chat for us to talk about, and so we can move off of this thing that I'm doing with Sean, which, you know, I appreciate the conversation, bro. I really do, but sometimes adult conversations lead in a direction that you don't want them to go, because that's the way of the world. Adulting is hard. You're in carpentry. I gotcha. Start your own business. You probably already have all the tools. Get a truck. Put a sign on it. It's $119 to create an LLC. You don't need to work for anybody. Work for yourself. I'm telling you, there's a level of personal freedom you'll never experience until you've done it. Painting, drywall. You're a handyman. And you probably know how to do it all better than everybody else around you. Start your own damn business, bro. All right, so what's our next subject? What's our next subject? By the way, we're only like 3 miles from the North Carolina border. Thank you, brother. Listen, seriously, I'm getting to subscribe, and yeah, no problem. Anytime, man. Let's see. You guys are killing me. I need a subject. I need a subject. And we talked about tariffs, which I apparently don't know anything about. I mean, reading stuff is so difficult. Let's see here. We talked about jobs. We talked about economy. What else do we got to talk about? You know, I'm going the speed limit, and people are like trying. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening. This is a really weird. I'm going to break the law for a second. Breaking the law. Breaking the law. I'm like boxed in. People are coming up on my butt. But I know there's like the cops like to hang out at the border. Oh, we're not that close. I got plenty of room. I'm gonna slip over here. Make this little lane change. Chicka-chow. Chicka-chow-chow-chow. Set that old cruise control. There we go. Now we're in. All right, let's talk about cars and trucks. Oh, let's see here. Cars and trucks. Well, if we're going to do that in the preparedness scheme, that means what do you have in your car? I need to put my sunglasses on, guys. What do we got here? Car, trucks, maintenance. Gonna need a what? A cobbler in SHTF. I don't know what that is. A DHOE. I don't even know what that is. Gonna need. How's the fast going? Lunchtime is coming up in about an hour and I'm starving. Is that Bradley? I can't tell. It's because they're so... I really got to talk to YouTube about fixing their texting. Anyway, so my fast starts tonight after I eat supper. I have not started my fast yet. If you guys are new to the channel, I'm going to be doing a fast. I probably need to do one like once a month from now on. It's so good for your body. I do kind of take it to an extreme. My fast will be for 3 days. 3 days. Deterred. Yeah, my fast will be for 3 days. And the reason I had to start tonight is because I don't want to be fasting, doing extended fasting while I need to drive a vehicle, that kind of thing, because the brain fog, as Bradley has told me, the brain fog is real. Yes, I know. The end of day 2 will be very difficult with the brain fog. But I will be doing a 3-day fast starting tonight after supper. And I think, what is it? My next meal will be on Thursday night, I think. Is it Thursday or... It's one of those days. The brain fog is already real. Anyway, it'll be a total 72 hours. I've got the ketosis schedule set up already. I will be talking about it a little bit because I think that one of the biggest things that we have failed to do as preppers is think about our health. We're so... That's a hawk. We don't think about our health, and there are so many things that we can do that do not require us to go to the gym. I'll call them. Okay. Yeah, that was really weird. Got his phone call, this weird phone number. It's probably spam. And I went to turn it off, and the whole live stream kicked out. All right, we need some air in here. It's getting warm. It's getting warm, guys. We're about to do it. We're about to pop into North Cackalack. There we go. And now we are in North Carolina. Let's see here. The American Riverside RV Park sucks. Okay. I'm sorry to hear that. I lived in this RV park when I was down in Florida. It was $600 a month, and they water, septic, power. Okay. They had immaculate laundry and head facilities, 2 swimming pools, and two jacuzzis, and a sauna, and a workout room, and like a little game/community room. $600 a month. The only thing I had to pay for out of pocket was my damn internet. That was it. LP, tape black paper over the lower third of your camera. That's interesting, bro. Wow. You're a smart cat. Who said that? Someone, you're freaking smart. That is interesting. But I don't have any tape or black paper while I'm driving. But you know what? I'm thinking about you right now. I'm gonna remember that trash, dude. No joke. That's a game changer. I could like there was serious contrast. Who is that? Teresa. You are the man. That is freaking smart as hell. The white text will happen better. I gotcha. With spam blocking recently seeded has reduced near good. For next time. Gotcha. Well, you are appreciated. You are appreciated. But now that I know that trick, I can do this trick to read the text, and you guys will know what I'm doing. All right, good. All right, so what's going to be our next? What's our next? I need to get some air in here. It's getting a little warm. I may have to pull over and take this jacket off, but I think it's easier just to push some buttons for right now. Buy Tesla. I think it's a little too late. That's like saying buy Microsoft, buy IBM. I think it's a little too late for that. unless you're in the market and you have money to spend on that kind of stuff, yeah. But yeah. Oh, I will tell you guys, I was watching a video the other day, a little lesser known interview with Elon Musk. They cornered him and talked to him about the Tesla phones. And they're like, when's that coming out? And he's like, that's never going to happen. There's no need for it right now. If there ever becomes a need for it, yeah, sure, whatever. But right now, that is not going to be happening. What do we got here? I thought I bought it $55. I guess that's $55 a share. I mean, that's not bad if you got $55 to buy one share. So you think Elon is going to get rid of NASA? No, he will not get rid of NASA. If anything, he'll make NASA better. You know, I mean, we need to have a presence in space, and that presence could not be a private company. You know, that's right up there with some of the sci-fi stuff where, you know, there's thoughts about like Elon could own Mars. I mean, if he went there and planted the SpaceX sign, there could be like some liability. You know, like we've already signed treaties with other nations that say that we can't own anything in space. That will never like say this is our territory. But truth be told, Elon never did that. Elon will make NASA great again. I know, right? You know, I mean, it's like there's a bunch of dumb people working at NASA. Now, with that said, NASA is a government organization, and government likes bloat, and they like red tape, and they like things to move just as slow as possible, and they don't do things the way they should do it. And they'll say it's because of their budget. They don't have the budget for it. We don't have the budget to blow up a rocket every month to figure this out. And some of that's true, but there's a lot of it that's not. There's a lot of it that's not true. You know, when we were working on the Mercury program, we were blowing up rockets like it was cool. Like, okay, guys, we're not going to put a guy on this because we're not sure if it's going to work, but we're going to launch it and see what happens. Fireball. We were doing all the same stuff that Elon was doing, building his company. And now look at him. But now NASA is just kind of like, oh, well, we're going to do this, and we're going to, you know, public-private, you know, cooperation and DEI and just the most ridiculous bull you can think about. It's always an excuse. We've got to make sure it's perfect. We're not going to put a human in it until we get it right. Well, good, then get it right. Just tell the truth. It's going to take you 50 years to get it right. You know, I often wonder if Elon is actually going to get slowed down because of the progress that he's making. And I think government has gotten a little too entwined with him, not just because of basically its advanced rocket technology. It's technically weapons technology is what they created as. But I think they're just too entwined with him because they want to be able to hold him back when the government says no. You know, and so when the government says no, that they'll basically have leverage over him. Because here's the thing, I think Elon at some point will get tired of listening to them and say we're just going to do it anyway. You know, when they started playing games about launches, he's like, okay, let's go ahead, begin construction on the sea launch bases. Whoa, what's that? Well, you know, we can do whatever we want 30 miles off the coast. So we're just going to make these sea launch bases, and we're just going to launch from there. We've already got a plan. Yeah, well, okay, approved. You can start launching now. You know, once he threatened to do that, the government backed off 100%, and now they're just playing this, you know, what is it, NOAA and OSHA and the birds and environmental crap, which they are completely in complete compliance with. So they literally have to come up with a new rule. Let's go ahead. That guy's not moving yet. I'm gonna just zip past him real quick. All right, contrast. What do we got here? I do love my Starlink. Watching you on it right now. Oh yeah, don't get me wrong, man. I'm looking into. So right now the priority is, if you guys didn't know this, when I do ask for money or I ask for memberships, all of that money is going to getting a new development computer. Mine is like from 2015, and I can't do 4K video on it because it just doesn't have the processing power. So any money that I ask for or say donate to, that money's all going to that. But once that gets taken care of, all the next bit of money is going to Starlink. I had Starlink in the past, and the little cubby hole in the woods that I lived in, the hole in the trees wasn't big enough for me to get Starlink, and it sucked because I would get like 1 gig internet, which is super awesome. As long as like for like a minute, and then like it would go down for like 2 minutes, and boom, right back at 1 minute. And if you know anything about how Starlink works, there's the transfer of data between satellites and ground stations, but also there's a transfer of data between satellite to satellite. It's called meshing. And so I was literally in between satellites once every 2 minutes. You can actually watch their satellite constellation online if you have a link to it. And so you could watch how as soon as one would come over the top of me or in range, it like boom, magical, super powerful internet, crisp, clear, perfect. You know, 4K, you name it, they got it, right? And then after about a minute, boop, drops down to 0. You could watch the whole thing happen. But yeah, that's where the next thing's going to be. Need to control government spending, so no paying big bucks for tools and such. I got you. Yeah, you know, we do have to cut our government spending back. You know, I'm starting to hear words like balanced budget. We're going to balance the budget. We need a balanced budget. We live on a fiat currency, guys. There's, you know, I know that they are consulting with Rand and Ron Paul about how to balance budgets, how to cut government or curtail government spending. But these things are pipe dreams, guys. Now I could say that we're never going to have another ballot budget again, and I'd probably be 50% right, but I'd also be 50% wrong, because I can't tell the future. What I can tell you is that the level of spending needed to continue to provide services to our citizens via roads, arming the military, just the basic functions of government, okay? It requires more money than we know what to do with. Now, people will tell you that we bring in more money than we spend. If that were the case, we wouldn't be talking about government spending. It wouldn't matter. We'd be talking about the fact that we bring in more money than we spend, right? We'd have a surplus every year. Or we'd have this magical, like, okay, guys, we got all this extra money. Let's do something special with it. Let's go buy some votes. But that's not the case. I don't believe for a second that we bring in trillions of dollars more than we spend every year. Otherwise, this would not be an issue. So, you know, as far as curtailing government spending, absolutely 100% agree with that. I think that the days of freaking, you know, finding out if herpes kills monkeys is got to go away. I'm not saying that we stop research. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that let's research things that actually have a positive effect on humanity, on the world. You know, the whole climate change thing, the whole research on climate change things, okay, we did the studies, we found out this, and we get enough people to sign off on it, and oh, by the way, you know, air is bad. Okay, good. Now what do we do? I'm not sure. We need a study to find out what to do. Okay, let's do that. Millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars get spent. Well, we need more money to do that. Okay, millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars get spent. Nothing gets done. Well, we don't know why did anything get done? I don't know. We need to do a study to find out why anything didn't get done. That's how government works. It's cyclical, as into a cycle. It's ridiculous. That cycle must be broken. If we don't, we're going to fail. We've got to the point now where we have to start cutting out the cancer. I was listening to the interview that Joe Rogan did with Elon Musk 10 days before the election. One of the things that he said is that in his research, he said that there are over 450 programs that he could find that the government is funding billions of dollars, giant staffs. I'm in a 70. I need to pick up the pace before I get ran over. And there, cruise control set. He didn't say that's what he was going to go after, but it was clear that he's already started the research to figure out which departments he's going to target. Surgically cut out these cancers that we're paying for that we don't need to be paying for. It's that easy. And yes, that means that some people are going to have to find something new to do in their lives. They're going to have to find another career path instead of being a government lackey. And I can say that because I was a government lackey. That's why I quit working for the government. Woke up one day and I found out I was part of that machine. And I was like, I'm out of here. This sucks. So that's what's going to happen, guys. That's what's going to happen. Let me get around this car real quick and I'll take a look at the chat. If it's in caps, I'll take a second to try and read it. I'm going a little fast for being distracted driving. I got a North Carolina forestry truck tailgating me. I'm gonna give him the evil eye. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, he's like, he just won't look forward. He's speeding, you son of a bitch. Anyway, okay, so I'm gonna check the chat. What do we got here? He also said they would get 2-year severance, so we would be spending more up front. I think that's fair. Truck is on your ass. Yeah, you saw that, huh? That was a North Carolina forestry truck. Anyway, so yeah, he's not like out cutting throats. It's not going to be like the Night of the Knives. If you don't know what that is, take a look. You might want to look it up. It's not going to be like that. It's basically going to be, okay, listen, we've determined, time to have a conversation with the Bobs, right? Your job is no longer needed. You serve at the behest of the President of the United States. That's what all government workers serve at, whether they're unioned or not. And as of the end of this month, we're no longer going to need you. We thank you for your service, and your severance package will be relayed to you via HR. It's pretty healthy. It's pretty nice. So make sure that you do what you need to do. The one thing that I really do like is that for certain people that leave government or leave the military, they're going to make them sign a document that says that they cannot work for another company, for a company that works in their field for 7 years. I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome, not because I did that, okay? I jumped from the military right into working for companies that did what I was doing, right? But I think that's awesome because that is going to keep these frickin' I don't want to make it sound bad, but I hate, screw it. It's going to keep these high-paid military officers from leaving the military because they know that they could just jump into the civilian world and make 3, 4, 5, 10 times doing the same job that they were. Okay? It's also going to keep the big companies, Boeing, Lockheed Martin, so on, Raytheon, from having people. So here's what happens. Here's what happens. I was hired into a job because I had connections in that field that were global. People that I knew, I'd broken bread with. We'd had conversations. We were business associates. Okay, and so I would be hired by companies, which I won't say the names of because it's not fair, because I had those connections. My skills had nothing to do it, even though I was very skilled in my occupation. But I had the ability to pick up the phone or write an email and talk to somebody that was inside of another company that may or may not have been doing the same thing and asked them about certain things. You see what I'm saying? I was in the know. And so they'll hire people that do that. Well, they do the same thing for the military. They'll hire somebody not because they know how to do all this stuff, but because they have all these connections in the military. And so, yeah, that actually happens. I think that 7-year block, that 7-year ban on hiring anybody, I think it's great. Because that takes that good old boy system out of the system. And it makes these companies actually work within the rules that the government is giving them. All right, let me check the chat here. Let's see here. Something, that is a fact. I get paid 3 times what I used to going to the private sector. Very true. As long as driving safely, please need to drive right lane unless passing to move less when there is merging traffic. Okay, Rose. Thank you very much, Rose. Appreciate you, girl. I'm in my 50s lane. I get in the right-hand lane and I put my cruise control on and I don't pass anybody I don't have to. It's that easy. Changing speed. Decelerating. Just coming out of that 70 zone. Lock. Cruise control. Let's see here. All right, so what else we got to talk about here? We still have a good 60 people in here? That's unheard of. That's unheard of. I can't believe I'm still talking because my voice normally goes out by now. Next subject, please. Next subject, please. All right, you should just invite Rose to come drive you. Was responding to Brad's comment on speeding. Oh, I got you. Ain't not a big, Rose, I told you, man, I got leather skin. I don't take anything personally. And if it's hard to know who it was directed at, it's not a big deal. That's always like, just angry texting. You never know what someone's really saying or like their the human perception behind it. Can you discuss your fasting more? Okay. Well, I guess I should start with why I'm doing it fast. There's a lot of research that shows that human beings are not supposed to be eating 3 meals a day. You know, there's speculations on basically the cereal companies trying to get people to eat 3 meals a day so they can sell more cereal. There is a lot of historical data that shows that we really only need 2 meals a day. The word break fast or breakfast means exactly what it is. You're technically fasting while you're sleeping. And it's good for your body. It's actually good for your body. I think that it's a shame that we live in a world where bad food is cheap and good food is expensive. And I've done this before. I've actually done it quite a lot over the last few years, but I have not done a fast in over a year. And your body starts to feel it. It's like, why are we all gaining weight? Why is everybody getting fat? And everybody's talking about, you know, JFK Jr., make America healthy again, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be great. It's going to be great if he can pull it off, you know. If he can make, you know, healthy food as less expensive as crappy food, it's going to be great. If we can get our kids off of frickin' a pound of sugar, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy what we are putting inside of our bodies, and shortening our lives, I think, and making our lives less better. I mean, when you gain so much weight you can't breathe right, you got a problem. But you just press through it. It's American way, right? You just press through it. You know what's wrong with using a plate that isn't ginormous? What's wrong with only putting, you know, half of your plate with vegetables, a quarter of your plate with protein, and a quarter of your plate with starch? With a complex carbohydrate, not a starch. Yes, I know they can both be the same thing, but define a complex carbohydrate, and I think you solve all your problems. What's wrong with having meals like that? What's wrong with having your largest meal at lunch instead of dinner? You know, that whole, you know, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. How come they didn't write any jingles about lunch? Let that one sink in for a little bit. So, here's my plan. The reason I'm starting my fast, I think I told you already, but for those of you that weren't here, the reason for my fast, for starting my fast on tonight after supper, is because I have to drive and I don't know where I'm going to get food, and I don't want to be weak, and I want to be able to focus on the road. If I was fasting right now and I was like a day into the fast, I wouldn't be able to do this live stream safely and drive, let alone drive. Okay. Let's see here. Just using hunger. LP is a hunger buddy. Well, I know Kim said she's going to do it with me. I don't know if anybody else is, and I am not a doctor. Medical disclaimer. I only know what I do with myself. You do what you want to do with yourself. So anyway, I'm gonna stop eating after supper tonight, and that will begin my fast. I'm gonna fast for 72 hours. During that period of time, my body will go through several changes, and it will actually start to actively use my body fat for food to keep me alive. Okay. After that fast, I'm going to start a keto diet, and because no, I'm not just going to eat freaking steak all day, that kind of thing. That's just crazy, right? But I'm going to be on a keto diet, and I'm going to make myself healthier. I also plan on purchasing. There are the ones you see on the TV. They don't work. It's a supplement that you can take to manage your blood sugar levels. Blood sugar spikes are one of the key causes weight gain. If you can control those blood sugar spikes, you can control your weight gain. You can actually make your body burn the fat in your body that's already in your body. And I want to get rid of that, because underneath my retirement package is actually a washboard stomach. I know I've seen it years ago, but just not now. And I would love to get back to that. I don't know if I can, but I mean, you're not cheating, you're not trying, so I got to try. And so there's actually a company out there that has all of the appropriate chemicals and nutrients inside their supplement, and I will start taking that as well to manage my blood sugar. During this fast, I will be monitoring my blood sugar levels so that I'm safe. That's not a disclaimer, that's just smart to do. And you can actually tell where your body is and what it's doing by the amount of sugar in your bloodstream. Like I said, I've done this before. I know how to stay safe. But that's what I'll be doing. And then the idea is to not turn into a walrus over winter, but to get my beach body while it's cold, that kind of thing. All right, let's see here. Let me check the chat. I think it's reasonably safe. Melissa's, they are recommending in most I don't know what that is, man. Militia? They're recommending in most religions. I don't know what that is. I can tell you, last night I was doing a lot of research on complex carbohydrates, and there are some what we would consider starches that I have never heard of before. So I may be ordering those off of Amazon, because you're never going to find them at Food Lion or Wally World. But there are some complex carbohydrates that you can consume that I get in my gut that they are like foods we forgot about, like foods that are too difficult for to be processed large scale, so there's no money in companies, so we stop eating them. You know, basically like, hey, this is what we ate for supper, 500 years ago, that kind of stuff, I've also noticed that, and I'm not a believer in this whole gluten thing, but I also know that there are people out there that are, and if I screw it up, somebody put it in the chat, it's like they're celiacs. Their body cannot handle any kind of gluten whatsoever. They will almost die if they have some kind of gluten in their diet. Celiac or something like that. I've got the girlfriend's daughter. Her boyfriend is one of these people, and he can only eat certain foods. So there is something to that, and that I've started to realize, or at least I think I'm right, that my body is no longer processing dairy worth a damn. It's a shame, because I love me some dairy. I mean, I don't drink milk, but sour cream on Mexican food, cheddar cheese, American cheese melted over hot dogs. I mean, it just makes things better. But there's a flip coin to that that's kind of scary, kind of ridiculous. Is that because all of the cheeses that we have now are processed? I think we forget about that. It's like you go to Wally World, you buy yourself a bag of cheddar cheese, and is this really like cheddar cheese? We've all heard about the cheese that they're putting on the Big Macs now. It's like it's not even real cheese. It just looks like cheese. It looks like cheese and it tastes like cheese, but it's not cheese. So the whole duck thing's not working. So I'm wondering if that is an issue, if that is the real issue. Man, I hate people that do that. They're afraid they're going to get hit, so they stop. Like, this is, guys, a full card length away from the line. And the sensor is up there. So now I have to wait for the timer to work. I need to get around this guy. He's got, no, I think I'm good, because he we don't have any lights for some time now. This is mostly highway. But you know, so I'm gonna try and stay away from the dairy as well. But I want to have some kind of starch, because the starches make you feel full and you want to eat less. And you know, obviously the proteins. I'm not. It's like, unless they tell me I can't have a certain type of protein, I'm gonna eat it. It's that easy. All right, so buy a cheese product from the Amish. They do not put in chemicals in it. I got you. Okay. Well, actually, I was thinking about making my own cheese, but I really love like the cheddars. So I know I can make mozzarella like that, no problem. Anybody can make mozzarella in their own kitchen, no problem. But with the hard cheeses, there's a little bit more to it than I think there is, and I want to do more research on it. But if I'm not going to be eating these dairies, then there's no reason for me to do it. It's just a nice to have, nice to do thing. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I could make like cheese, like a hard cheese, and then whatchamacallit, you know, wax it, cut it up and wax it, and it would last like forever. But I don't know. Learn to make your own cheese. Yes, absolutely. Shred cheese had sawdust in them to keep them from sticking together. Wow, interesting. Kraft Farm still has wood filters. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, you know. So I don't know if it's like my body's not processing it anymore, or if it's an issue with the cheese itself. But either way, I'm going to try and stay away from it. But yeah, and then like I said, the whole keto thing, and you know, because my body fluctuates somewhere between, when I feel healthy, my body is about 197 pounds. Once I get over 200, I start to feel bad, and if I get to 205, then I start to feel really, really bad. The heaviest I ever got was 220, and that's when I knew it's time for change. But it's so easy because of our diets just to slip right back into that stuff. And so I believe that, you know, basically this fast, okay, is going to get my body ready for the keto. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And I'm not the kind of guy that looks for shortcuts. So you're not going to be like, oh, it's keto bread and it's keto yogurt, and it's keto toilet paper and keto paper towels. You know what I'm saying? I'm not looking to replace everything that has the word keto on it. I'm actually gonna like replace foods that are your carbs should be complex carbohydrates. All right, and believe it or not, I actually learned something the other day. You know, it's like potatoes make you fat. Yeah, tell that the Irish during the time when that's all they lived on, and now we make jokes about, right? Well, they survived on them. And oh, by the way, did you know that if you bake a potato and let it get cold and then eat it, it actually is probiotics for your gut health? Magical, right? I mean, well, who wants to eat a cold potato? And oh, by the way, I need butter and sour cream on that. You know, get some chives, cheddar cheese. Oh, here we are, back in that great cycle of destruction. So, yeah, my diet won't be super great, but it also won't be bad, and I won't be going backwards. Let's see here. We were so poor as kids, we had that cheese that curled up when cooking. Yeah, listen, I lived off of government cheese when I was a kid. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. The chat's coming in really fast, and or faster than normal, and it's really hard for me to read. So I'm trying. But yeah, we grew up on WIC and government cheese. You know, I mean, I'm not too proud to say that. It is what it is. But you know, I mean, you know you're poor when you make fried cheese. Surviving is not always surviving. Yeah, that's kind of true. Surviving is not always surviving. Thriving, my bad. I got you. Yeah, well, I mean, you guys have seen me cook, and you guys have seen, I've been doing this for a few years now, and I pretty much show you guys everything that I can, and I hate thriving, dude. Survival sucks. I need to be healthy. Veritas, man, I'm trying to read you here. Well, that's Jason. I lost 57 pounds on keto for a year. I was 6'2", 230. Now I'm 173. Also, my blood pressure issues went away. Oh, absolutely. There's a lot to be said. See, this is all about, I don't talk about it very often, okay? Because I sound preachy, all right? But the truth is, everything in life is about effort and enthusiasm. It's like, okay, so you know that you need to eat more healthy. Well, food is so expensive to eat healthy. Really? What if we shrank the size of our portion sizes? We eat like pigs in America. Not a joke. Well, then I'd be hungry. You'd only be hungry till the next meal. And that hunger pain that we have, I don't know what it is physically, but I know psychologically it can be ignored. I've done it a million times. There was a time while I was on active duty as a Marine, I only ate once a day. The only time I ate 3 days. Hell, I get to eat whenever when I wasn't in the field, supper time. That was it. I'd eat one plate of food at supper time, no snacks or anything. And I lived. I survived. I was 183 pounds. Because that was my maximum for my height. It can be done. It's not as torturous as most people think. And then, you got people that they succumb to their cravings. I know there's people in my life that are like that. But they can change that diet. They just believe that they live that way for so long that it's impossible to change. And that comes back to effort and enthusiasm. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks not being able to engorge ourselves all day because food is something we really like, because they've made food so tasty and so addictive. Yeah, it sucks. All right, we just went through a bad spot. It may come back. There's a little bit of a dead spot here. Hopefully I won't lose you guys. We're going to find out. I'll just keep. If I do lose you, that'll be the end of the live stream for the day. I don't think I will, because I'm going to keep pushing them buttons. As long as you keep participating, I will keep pushing buttons. Okay, cruise control, 70 miles an hour. Oh, let's see here. Eating, all right, grind. Yeah, I know, it's the grind. There's something to be said for it, you shouldn't be grinding on stuff that are not going to make your life better, but you should definitely be grinding on stuff it's going to make your life better. Hunger is like all other pains. With practice, you can last longer. Yeah, exactly. But the thing is too, it's like, so I feel the hunger pain right now. I woke up this morning, I didn't know whether I was going to eat breakfast or not. And I'll be honest with you, I got a little upset because I stopped at Wally World last night and got myself one of those Caesar roll-ups you can buy. God, almost $6, really? No, it was $4.99 for a damn roll-up. That's ridiculous. So anyway, I left that in the fridge at the other house. So I was like, now I became angry. Went in there and bought like this little frickin' ham and Swiss sliders. And of course the bottom end of the dough was like, the bottom end of the bun is all soaking wet. So I just ate the meat and the cheese. And I thought to myself, well, that's probably exactly what I needed. But now I'm starting to get this hunger pain because it's almost lunchtime. Right lane closed, merge left 2 miles, okay? But like I said, I'm starting to get this hunger pain, but you know what? It's nothing I can't handle with a little bit of coffee. I tell people, if you feel hungry, drink a glass of water. If you're still hungry, drink another glass of water. It doesn't solve everything, but it sure is not going to hurt you. Hunger, then drink. Where we got here, 75% of hunger pain is thirst. Really, I didn't know that, Bradley. Is that a statistic, or is that just you telling me that? Don't even say it's science either. I know you, Bradley. You're like, it's science. I grew up only knowing hunger pain. I'm a pro. I got you. But you know, with effort and enthusiasm, you can get through most anything. Listen, man, I've been a lot of crazy freaking places. I've done a lot of crazy things. The one thing I know is that if you're putting out, things are going to go faster. You're not going to be like, oh, this sucks. You know, effort. And then enthusiasm, you know, if you're in a bad place with a lot of dudes that you really trust, you know, it's suck it up, man. This sucks, bro. It's a big shit sandwich, and we're all gonna take a bite. You know, misery does love company. I'm telling you, enthusiasm. You know, we used to have this guy. He would like, so whenever we he always liked to be the first guy out of the chopper, and he reminds me of a very Deadpoolish personality. Maximum effort, you know. He really had one of those attitudes. Oh my God, they fixed this road in a week. This part of the highway, the right lane was like torn up, like not potholed, but it was just like, and then the left lane was the smooth side. Well, they paved this. Nice. They're working on it now. Right lane closed to 2 miles again. We're just going to jump over there now. You're going to hear a difference immediately. And it's just a little louder. Not a lot, but a little. Anyway, so that's what he would do, man. When they would give us the signal to lock and load, he was just like getting all twitching his neck, and he was ready to go. This guy was like on fire, you know. And as soon as they gave us the signal to unbuckle, man, this guy was like ready to go. And as soon as we were wheels down, he's up, he's out that door. He wanted to be the first guy every single time. And I asked him one time, it's like, why are you like this? He's like, well, you know, it's not like I want to be the first guy in the fight. It wasn't like that. He's like, man, because this is going to be bad, and I want it to be over, and I have the ability to make it over very, very fast. And I was like, solid logic. And we let him go out first every time. Indy to first sucks. Ingram. Oh, you're talking about a highway? Okay. Was he animated like Deadpool? Yes. Yes, he was very animated. You almost couldn't have a serious conversation with the guy. And what's the word I'm looking at? I understood his kind of crazy, because I was very, there were people in the community that didn't like me because they thought I wasn't taking things seriously. Because I was a firm believer that no matter what I was doing, I should try and have fun at it. And you can be serious, you can be a professional and still have fun. But unfortunately, in that line of work, that people tend to think that you're nuts. They tend to think that you're psychotic. But so you have to balance that, you know. But this guy, you know, you had to hold this guy back because he believed that he could affect the world. You know, he was good for the team, don't get me wrong, but he believed he could benefit the world. He was there for a reason. He worked to get to that position so that he could do the things that he wanted to do to benefit the world and be happy at it. He was really he really loved his job, don't get me wrong. And he wasn't nuts. He wasn't nuts. He was just this very, very happy warrior. And so I kind of associated with him pretty well, you know, his mindset. But it was different. It was just different because in that line of work, everybody's like, it's like, we're going to do this, grumpy, roger that, yes, sir, you know. You know, his mentality was, all right, guys, you ready? We're going to fuck some shit up. Yeah, that's probably going to get me banned anyway. Let's see here. Huzzah! What's up, Rose? Okay, so let's go ahead and throw another subject in there. We got 71 people watching, which is freaking, it's pretty killer, guys. We almost hit 200 today. It was pretty awesome. I have not had 200 people in a live stream since I got off TikTok. Got to slow down. Let's slow down. Yeah, I want to start doing, I'm slowly getting some supplies for videos and stuff built up at the Homestead. And that's going to give me the ability to start making more like outdoor videos because I'm not living in the city anymore. He was Murdoch from the team. A little bit. Murdoch was crazy though. Murdoch was just exceptionally skilled. Most people don't even know what Murdoch was. That's hilarious. I need to slow my ass down, not too fast. But as you can see, the car is loaded up with different things, different preps, things like that. Yeah, you guys know what that is. There you go. We're going to have some fun with that. I'll make a video about that right there. That's some stuff that people don't even talk about, which is hilarious. All right, let's see here. A big paragraph. I'm going to try and read it. I cannot make any promises. It is in caps, so I will make the effort. Let me get on this straight away. All right, what do we got here? Shit. Need a Tesla with the self-driving software and add-on make live streams driving memories from MacGyver. Got you, Rose. Yeah, well, it would, but I don't. I just don't know if I can trust that stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know, see, the thing is we have airplanes now that can taxi, that can take off, that can ascend and fly, that can turn and descend, and can land themselves, okay, without a human being. But we still require a human pilot. So I'm gonna have a problem trusting an auto-driving car. I truly am. You know, I'm gonna be like that guy who's like teaching his kid to drive, and you're just like the whole time. Where are we at here? Somebody wrote something here. Richard Dean Anderson was the man. Gotcha. Okay, so I don't know how long that'll last. For you that are still here, we went with for like 70 to 29. We'll see what reconnects. What do we got? Freight train WTF. Most have got in it. No, I didn't get into an accident. Why's your name highlighted? That's kind of weird. You have a check next to your name and everything. I really need to look into that, Freight Train. I really need to look your name and everything. I really need to look into that, Freight Train. I really need to look into that because I think I've done it, but it's like you got to go. It says I'm live again. I don't know if there'll be another dead zone. I always forget about that one over there. But anyway, let's see here. A tablet for driving, streaming. Yeah, but then I'd have to put this whole big thing up here and still hanging in. There you go, Ian. Let's see here. I think the seal coverage just sucks. Yeah, it's kind of weird, but I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. I can actually scroll down here a little bit here. Trump 2024. Yeah, definitely. Truck is a 54 Ford. I love it because it has no electronics. Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah. I mean, the older cars are not as smooth as newer cars. They're not as quiet as new cars. There's a lot of deficiencies. But you know what? If I wanted to fix a vent on my air conditioner, I'd just freaking reach under there and find the wire and do whatever I'm going to do, you know? It's not, when I say wire, I mean metal wire. Like, you remember you had to like move, like slide things over? It was like these metal pieces of wire, really hard, that pushed all the vents around. Now everything's freaking electronic or vacuum. JSOC, too bad it's a Ford. Oh, don't even get me started. I love Fords. I don't like Chevys. Chevys, the interior, I hate the interior of Chevys. It feels like it's model plastic. That plastic they make molded models out of that you put together as a kid. Everything inside feels like that. All right, let's get over here. I may have another dead zone coming up. I'm not sure. Set. Cruise control. Done. Yes. Chevy runs will be, but Ford rides smoother. I think there's a benefit to either one of them. I just, at this point, you would think the technology would you know, you would think the technology would have caught up, but apparently not so. Let's see here. I can't. You guys stopped using caps, so I can't read very much. Wiper is also hard cranked. Oh yeah, there you go. Mechanical. There you go. Mechanical wipers. There you go. Got the little feeder bar. Reconnecting. Nope. That's funny too, because I just drove past the cell tower. All right. Tech in vehicles are just like phones these days. Instead of making it work, that's just too much to read. I got distract you. Literally, to make the wipers work, turn a knob on the inside. That's long said. I got you, bro. I got you. Yeah, no, listen, the first car I ever worked on was a 1967 Ford Fairlane 500 XL soft top with the original stock spinners. Rebuilt that car with my father when I was a kid. That's how I learned how to work on cars. I completely understand. 100%. You know, I wish they still, I'll be honest with you, I wish they still made cars like that. You know, you should have an option, like if you want tech or non-tech. You know, I think there's a market for that. Okay, moving into another 70. I don't think there's any more dead spots until we get to the swamp, which is not far away. And how much, what do I have here? Oh, shit. I can't read. I can't see the top of my screen, but I guess that's okay. I don't know why. Why does it look like that? Why does the top of my screen look like that's a little weird? Going too fast. Boom. Cruise control set. What's going on? Interesting. I don't know why my screen looks like that. That's kind of weird. Are you guys still there? My screen looks like really, really weird. Like I lost like an inch on the top of it. Marketing is for all my car restoration business. Do but money. Gotcha. Timer's still running. I guess I'm still live. Here. Okay, so I'm still alive. Good. All right, so you guys still didn't put another subject in here. We're talking about cars and stuff. Unless it's preparedness related. Rah. You know the deal. Get past these. They're mowing. They're not really mowing. They're cutting trees. You go into the swamp. How close are you from DC? Hey, Miko, what's going on? No, I'm heading south. There's a big swamp that you have to drive through on Highway 17. And it's pretty much a dead zone. It's just north of Williamston, North Carolina. My 2000 Silverado is power nothing, just one step above manual trans. Gotcha. Yes, we're still here. Wow. What do they call them? Menders? No. Trickle charge in the battery, that kind of thing. What is up with the fasting trend? I don't know what just happened, but our bodies are designed to function in this manner. And one of those is to fast. Not the fasting, but we don't eat for like 8 hours. We go sleep. So that's when our body is in this cycle. And what screwed the whole cycle up because we're eating everything backwards. Is it time or the live falling apart before the swamp? Oh, the swamp's still well up the road. That was just a dead space. Either that or freaking the government's after me again. There's no telling. I'll keep an eye. How many people are in the, you know what? Hey, do me a favor, guys. Put a 1 in the chat. America. You know, I know I'm slacking. Do me a favor. Help the stream. Put a 1 in the chat if you love your country. America. There we go. Now you guys know I'm not slacking. Yeah, see, we went up to freaking from like 20 something to 47. Because when we drop out, I think there's a time delay between the actual physical video delay that you guys have. I think that my delay is off by almost a minute. And then when we disconnect and reconnect because of the dead zones, I lose everybody. And if they don't stay on, then some of them, phew, others are just waiting. And then then there's that reconnect time. But no, it's not falling apart. But I probably will kill it just before we get to the swamp, to be honest with you. Because I need to stop and my gas gauge is working. Yoo-hoo! Let's see. Trip at 158. See, that's weird because I thought it was 146. No, it's 168. So I'm 10 miles from my gas station. So for another 10 minutes we straight. Man. Refresh. Fasting allows the rest of the body to clean up the place instead of always being a digestive state. Absolutely, 100%. Miko, I can't read that. I don't know something. I know what fasting is. Why is the LP family fasting? Together we did that. They did that start. I don't know. I didn't ask anybody to do it. Maybe people are just recognizing that they need to do something good for their body. I don't know. Like I said, I asked nobody to go on this fast with me. I simply told you that I was doing it. There is no fasting party. All right, let's see here. Lots of 1s and American flags. Love you, Miko. Traffic. And we're in the traffic. We are in the traffic. We're in the traffic. I love that they built a ROFO out here. If you guys don't know what that is, that's Royal Farms. It's like a chain of gas station slash food place slash go to the bathroom slash. It's just a really big gas station that offers deals on gas. So regular here is $2.89. With my ROFO card, I will get it for $2.79. All right. We'll pull over here to spot number 1. All right, there we go. I thought I was going to be in the shade, but I'm not. Okay. Woo! All right, let's see here. Chrome for stores. I don't know what that sounds like. Bucky's. I mean, it could be. It could be. But they just have a little bit of everything. So, all right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and kill the live stream now. Like I said, do me a favor on your way out the door. If you could hit that thumbs up, it would be greatly appreciated. If you're not subscribed, do me a favor, hit that subscriber. And if you are, make sure you check your bell because YouTube turns those bells off from time to time. They're not playing fair. If you want to support the channel, the best way to do that is to become a member. Do me a favor and scroll down, find the word more. It should be in blue or green. And hit that, then scroll down to join, and then pick the one in the middle because it gives you access to all of the stuffs. Okay, that was fun. Yeah, I'm headed to the Homestead, and I'll start working on what the video will be tomorrow. Stay safe, have a great day, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye-bye.